opened up that entire comeback into this round. And the Reyna, I mean, he's got full utility now. If he gets a kill, he can just...
Halo semuanya, balik lagi bersama gua Isnandar sini Ridwan. Hari ini kita watch party lagi ya guys. Edward Gaming menghadapi Paper Rex ya guys. Kita lihat siapa yang bakal menang dan lolos nih. Apakah Edward Gaming atau Paper Rex? Let's see ya guys.
On the tap, spots him again. 4 HP now for the duelist. Something's creeping his way forward. He's got the knife out now, switching over to the Vandal. Not able to snap onto the shots. Can Smoggy get the defuse? Yes, he can.
Wih,
3-6.
dapat gila.
And it's EDG this time around, dictating the pace, pushing down Hookah. It got scrappy, it got scary, but they closed it out in that 1v1.
One enemy remaining.
That was so close.
He almost hits the shots, man.
Smoggy's been so good. Even yesterday, when they were getting decimated by Heretics, he was the star of the show for EDG. This time more of a team effort, and that'll cause a timeout from Paper Rex. You imagine now Paper Rex might play a little bit more spread of a default, or maybe just watch their back now if they are gonna play all 5 players towards one side of the map. They haven't had to worry about that yet, so, you know, it's okay.
That's just such a perfectly timed call from EDG. You mentioned it during the round. They hadn't done that.
Yeah.
They hadn't accelerated in that way.
And that's what I was looking forward to in that game yesterday. But they just didn't have their footing at all.
Wow.
They do a really good job of changing the pacing on what they do on the
Gaming.
defensive side and the attacking
What
side.
a game, guys.
I'm glad we get to see it now. That being said, nobody will have Seekers online, Pit available for Chichu. And, I mean, there's a lot of ults online that'll be coming to fruition for EDG. Only Seekers to work with for PRX.
Meanwhile, for EDG, you mentioned those ults all coming online. They've got to chain them together, though.
And look at the spread default that I was talking about. Now you see players on both sides of the map.
Wah, let's see nih guys, siapa nih yang jago?
A hit used right off the bat from Chichu.
Now an early pit invested like this, it can really force the attacking side to be pushed into B or showers. But on the flip side of that, it can also cause EDG to have to keep a couple players there to protect his back.
That's exactly the approach that they've taken. But as soon as the Harbor utility goes at B, they've left him. Chichu's now on an island. It's all of EDG is B. Devi has his Seekers, and there's still plenty of time left in this
Apakah
round.
PRX bisa jaya?
But it's nobody who uses his first.
This bait setup B long. If EDG do get pushed off of B long here, that's when a rotation will have to come towards that A side of the map.
The Seeker's got a ton of value.
There.
Spotting a couple, I mean all 3, I believe. But they freeze again.
Right there.
Posted up outside of B, waiting for the right moment to strike. The flash is going to confirm presence once more. This has been a really nice cycling of utility by nobody. Now traded on the other side. The Seekers going forward. Chichu happy to hold the other side of the map. While the fight ensues, B. Devi, massive kills. Oh, 3v3 now. The spike making his way at B as Chichu repositions. He left the pit. He rotates over, but now with 10 seconds left. Paper X trying to get back to A as fast as they can and get the spike down.
So much to worry about. You have to worry about short, but Devi is kind of ahead of it.
Wise to it, not able to land the shots the first time around.
That was a great jiggle from Chichu. He got the info that both players now are stuck in U-Haul, and he just has to wait for his teammates to push up.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Now Jing turning his attention back there. Devi falls. Jing cannot hold up.
Beautiful discipline from EDG. And Chichu taking the timing on the teleport, getting kills in Hookah, and then wrapping all the way back around with the jiggle there. That was fundamentally sound from EDG. Beautiful. And that lead that PRX had, I mean, it's
gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. They had won I believe it was 6 rounds in a row at one point. This was just such a, I mean, you mentioned the discipline. It was beautiful to watch from EDG. But Chichu, honestly, had so much to do with it. I mean, we talked about the pit at the very beginning. His timing on hitting the TP, his wrap back around was perfect.
Now it's Kong with that showstopper. He gets bought up. How? Oh, he gets an operator bought up for him.
He's gonna have both. Last round of the half. Money to spend. What a luxury that is.
Last time PRX did this A short wall, I mean, they just sped up B, so that's why you're seeing EDG get proactive here, pushing through showers. All the info is theirs. And the rest of the B anchors for EDG, they're just trying to bait out all that utility early on and buy time for a rotate.
I really like this. Howdong, you mentioned all that info that they get showers, but they deposit Kong. They have Howdong rotating back. Meanwhile, Jing doesn't connect on the rocket, slams into the wall, and Smoggy's there to punish with it. Nobody, the firing line as Smoggy joins in on the fun. The dizzy over the top. Almost everyone going the way of Smoggy, but Chichu's the one to clean it up.
It's electric in here right now. Smoggy played that to near perfection, tucking in the cubby, jiggling consistently. And then the Omen flash to secure the kills.
What a change.
Look at this. He played this so well. Look, the little tuck right here. And then just the back and forth pre-firing, waiting for that Gecko flash to come over the top. Wonderful.
The timing on that was perfect. It was Howdong who had left Kong showers, rotates back over. The dizzy paves the way. We often talk about how Valorant is a family affair. We've got a couple of family members standing by for an interview.
I've got two familiar faces with me right here next to the stage. I have Auntie Pearl, who is Jing's mom, and I have Xcarit, Forsaken's brother. And you saw him on stage not too long ago as well. How are you guys enjoying Shanghai?
Very good. I like it here. Much better than Korea.
Oh, wow. Well, I know that you love Shanghai. Forsaken, I know this is Xcarit, sorry. You look like your brother, by the way. I know this is a bit of a nostalgia trip for you. You haven't been here for 7 years, is that right?
Yeah, it's been 7 years. Exactly 7 years I've come to Shanghai, so I'm enjoying my trip a lot after I finish my games. I'm just traveling a lot of good food and then meeting my old friend and something. It's really fun for me.
Oh wow, that must be such.
By the way, ini ang kanan orang Indo ya, guys.
And Auntie Pearl,
Xcarit
I
namanya.
see that you have your props here as well. Did you make this? You said you have an interesting story about this prop.
Brother, ya ini Forsaken.
Last year, I brought it all along, and then the team has been very lucky. So yeah, it's here, it's back.
Oh my gosh, so this has traveled pretty much all over the world with you.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a legacy prop indeed. And Forsaken, the score right now is pretty close. So what do you think of the rest of the map?
I was hoping, of course, PepRex to win this game. Even I have a lot of friends in AG also, but still, I want Epic to win this tournament. So I hope, especially for Jason, I hope he can regain his confidence because I know he's been stressed a lot yesterday. He talked to me, but I just telling him like just don't care about it because he need to be reset and just play with his full confidence for today's match.
That's right. Just relax. You heard it from your big brother. So let's
So
see if
sweet,
PepRex can close this one out.
Namanya Jing.
Relaxing is much easier contemplated than completed when you're tied at 6-6 with elimination on the line. I mean, yeah, just relax, bro. What do you got to lose? It's fine.
And I'll tell you who's not relaxed. It's Kong. He was very active in the communication, just talking to his team, yapping like crazy. And that's a good sign for a player like him. I mean, he's really bringing the energy into this arena, into his team. That could just be the difference maker as well in a series like this when there's so much on the line. Elimination. Pride between the two teams. They played each other so much.
The last bout did go the way of EDG. But the problem is they've now turned back over to the attack side, which, again, was a pain point for them yesterday. What adjustments did they make?
It's such a good wall to just delay any type of hookah rush or presence. And that flash to re-walk in, that's proactive.
Ooh, the protocols were really nice, but the armor on Kong.
Yeah, those shots just didn't hit the mark for something.
I mean, he dinked him, but he had light armor in Classic. That's, yeah, that's what decides that. That's just crazy. It seemed like they had everything prepared, and fortunately for them, if something goes down, Jing and Dubai clean it up. The frenzies are perfect as PaperX get the pistol.
4 for Jing into that round. That calmness pushing through. And a lot of EDG's demise was against proactivity. This was a double proactive fight here. At first it was just something. Then all of a sudden it's Jing on the rotate from ASA. All 3 players pushing hookah. That frenzy could be so deadly in close range battles like that.
I'm excited for the rest of his defensive half though, because that, I mean, you highlighted it. The harbor wall with the flash on the other side is so cool.
This is also very cool from EDG. Hero buying Kong, this Bulldog. We've seen in NA at least Oxy doing this quite a bit with C9. And it paid out dividends. They can really catch PRX off guard. Oh, they know now.
It's a heavy investment. The nade, not quite deep enough. But they've got him crunched. Something is here, but he's got nothing but an outlaw. But they're going to continue to push the matter. All playing outside of this TP.
Wow.
Weapons have been upgraded. Mindfreak's the only one who's got a rifle on the other side.
This is so awkward for PRX, and now when you're going against an outlaw, nobody has armor or the HP to deal with this. It's a one-shot kill. Smoggy can do some real damage. But they're so split right now.
Toxins going up.
I mean, even Chichu, a Spectre, can nuke down Forsaken or Mindfreak. Forsaken only has a Ghost.
But he's going to get so much info as to where the play is. And if he can get away with one, just one, that's a victory.
Oh, he has to back up now.
30 seconds left.
The thing is, he only spotted one. So Mindfreak has to stay A. Unaware of the fact that both members of EDG have huddled up together. As the smokes go down.
This is such
now,
a close round.
13 seconds left. The paranoia out. It's not going to tag Forsaken. Still playing on the other side of it. The spam from Mindfreak not connecting. The warning shots have been delivered though, and they've got to understand that's where the pressure's coming from. Forsaken on the swing. Mindfreak will clean him up, leaving Chichu all on his own. Spectre still in hand. 70 HP. The gun barrel. But the reposition is really nice from Chichu. He has too many things he has to clear, and not enough time to do it all.
That little barrel, I thought that was gonna be the dagger into PRX. And then he would just have to play in the middle of sight, wait for the drop for Forsaken. It ended up working against him. That's so tough. But a really good eco round for EDG, that Bulldog buy. It makes it so PRX, if they want to invest into this, they're gonna be broke in the next round.
Okay.
That got scrappy. I like that EDG are ready for the proactivity from PRX. And it wasn't that clean for PRX as well. If they want to do crunches like that, I mean, you got to have more utility. The timing has to be a little bit better.
Nice. Let's go.
They're always decisive with it, though. You got to give them that. Oh, that second satchel did not go the way it was intended to go.
You see the layers of utility. A Gecko Molly, an Omen Flash, a Sky Flash, all to set up Kong to get that initial exchange, to come out on top, potentially get an entry.
Keep a close eye on that, because you imagine they're going to do it once more. Kong still pushing his way forward. Forsaken on the other side. Won't be around much longer.
The man just doesn't die to judges.
You hear Wingman going forward. Jing has played this position so well, man. He buys his time and he strikes when everything is right. And now the showstopper, not going to connect at all.
Mindfreak took the head off of Howdong, so couldn't get value. Yeah, couldn't get value there. But Smoggy, the reposition on short here, and nobody just finessing through the smoke. He finds the timing.
It's so perfect. Divide falls 2v2. Nobody's left in a 1v1. Mindfreak waiting on the other side. He's got that Guardian in hand.
He's playing it so well.
He's buying so much time and then delivers the shots anyway.
The bobbing and weaving from nobody in that 1v1. It kind of just felt like he had a hard read on the situation on Mindfreak. He played that superb. Jing, I mean, he really opened up this retake for his team. But nobody, he was the difference maker.
These are those little 1v1s that we talked about yesterday, that we talked about at the beginning of the half, that just weren't going EDG's way. They're starting to turn.
And that's when playing against a team like EDG can be scary, because they do have really good fundamentals. They have good discipline in a lot of those moments.
And they've got fraggers. So if they can put all of those things together, like they have so far, they've got a shot at this. Again, a really nice set of utility. The paranoia, the flash around the corner, and now the dog.
The nade will delay them momentarily, but there's still so much utility.
Oh, those satchels, not able to get him into safety. The spam on the other side is the guns from Paper X just not holding up.
And now he can get Seekers if he grabs that orb before the bomb goes down.
Ada yang
Something
pakai
you gotta
judge.
but at that distance,
Planted.
deciding not to fire,
I've got your trail.
opting for the kill potentially instead.
Just secure the round. I don't mind using these Seekers as well. It could set you up to get those kills easier.
A lot of space here that they're gonna have to take with all of the guns on the other side. I mean, that cove will certainly help, but count on.
Wait.
Oh, this has gotten messier than it should have. Chichu and Smoggy are able to keep them back, but that got real ugly for a second.
8 sama
Can't count PRX
dong.
out ever, and that's why the Seekers were invested early on. I don't blame nobody for using them in that round whatsoever. And PRX have just been force buying into these rounds back to back to back. Even with scrappy guns, they made it to a 2v2.
And Forsaken reads them like a book, man. As soon as the clove goes down,
Yeah.
they've got to challenge it, right? There's no way you just let that diffuse come through. And so we're tied at 8. 2 ults on the side of EDG. They've been so much more decisive than they were yesterday. These attack tabs have been so much more refreshing.
No hesitation. They're not worried about getting outshot, out manipulated. They're just showing and going right now.
They have a plan and they are sticking to it.
Look at this, all the utility.
It's the same set of utility we saw in the previous round.
And when you condition utility like that, it really can set up the future round. So they're looking at the long haul right now.
There may not be much more of a long haul left of this map. Concon going forward with rocket in hand. Will connect onto Jing.
Chef's kiss.
Perfectly played, and look at where Smoggy is. Only able to find one though.
What?
Somehow, something gets 2. Concon on the snap and something with the 3rd.
Ayo.
Leaving a star on his own to settle the shots. The clip
Yes.
try. Something with 4 and Paper X with 9.
Let's go something.
He just got, what, 3-4 wallbang kills? That was through CT spawn. And you see players go for that, but it usually doesn't go their way. So maybe a little bit of luck. Getting 2 players with that.
We're going to look at it one more
Look
time.
at this. He did see the tracers, but to get 2?
Yeah, that's...
And then the 3rd right there? Oh my goodness.
Namaknya dari situ bisa Itulah.
Spams to get the kills. It's so hard to beat PRX when they win rounds like that. It's, what are you supposed to do? You can't do anything about it. And now you're on an eco round.
Raised it.
The ecos have been messy, though.
That's a good opener.
Yeah, but the second kill the other way. Not really what they need. Something playing up close on the other side of this wall. Puts the Lear out, gives the space up. Meanwhile, Paper X slowly tightening around the map.
Proactivity from PRX. Pushing through short. But Smoggy, he was checking flank. He just goes back.
Mind Freak can have a feast with this, and that's exactly what he does.
Down.
Nice mind freak.
She's
Yo!
just satchelating forward. Yeah.
Let's
Right on his
go.
head. Yep. Seen that one before. from
Let's
this guy.
go, Jing.
And so we turn our attention to the next round, a very quick precursor as to what we've got, because there are a lot of ults in play here, and we're nearing the end of this map. Paper X hanging on to a 2-round lead. They've got the Reckoning. They've got the Orbital Strike.
And you can really invest all these ults into this round because it'll put EDG on such a bad buy for the next that you're sitting on almost match point at that point. I mean, you are sitting at match point. You should be at least.
And Jing's halfway, more than halfway to his rocket as well. So even if you invest all of those, that's still something that's going to have to be considered later. Paper X have set themselves up very nicely.
EDG need to try to bait out at least one of these ults early on and not die, not drop early. If you invest the Viper's Pit off the rip here, I mean, well, might not be good because the ultimates from the other side, they could just cycle them.
We're about to find out how that plays out. Jing getting up top and dropping on it, but nobody had his back.
So clutch.
The pit's still up. Can it be dodged by that? The TP out. Pit still in play. Something on the flank. Smoggy waiting. But is he aware of how close he is? Drops down, not able to settle the shots. Paper X still with the fight into this, but they've got to get past this pit.
It's too hard.
The biggest thing in their way here.
Last player standing.
A 1-for-1. Something left to his own devices. playing his time as best as he can.
Not even going for it.
No, at this point. Is he even going to get away with the gun? No. Chichu hunts him down. EDG gets a 9.
EDG did a really good job of not falling to any of those ults early on. And for PRX, they wasted so many ults in that scenario.
Dude, nobody
Yeah, that was
nobody
so
saves
nice.
that round.
Yeah, he does.
Because Chichu was the one he was hunting for, and he almost had him.
PRX jumped the gun too early in that retake, and EDG took full advantage of that.
One round between the two. Paper X still with 2 ults. You know, we talked so much in the previous round about the setup that Paper X have for themselves from an ult perspective, but EDG are slowly getting near a fever pitch with all of theirs. Howdong, Kong, and nobody.
If they can win this next round, the economy of PRX is going to be in shambles, and they might not even have to invest any of those ults, but they can get a lot of them online.
They're committing to this A. They're committing to this A, and it's a 1-for-1. Meanwhile, the Reckoning will continue to cause problems, but Howdong manages to sidestep all of it. Nobody does too.
Come on,
What a quick
guys.
split. And now, with that dog being proactive in the CT spawn, they have the info that both players should be on the flank.
And they've seen 2 bits of utility as well. The dog and now the flash.
They're too disciplined in these scenarios. Their post-plant win rate is sky high.
It was good yesterday. It continues today. There's no way for them to get in.
One enemy remaining.
The reflink from Smoggy, it's clinical.
Something again we'll try to save. He wasn't successful in the previous round. And I don't even think he really has a shot at it this time. Deals a little bit of damage. They're gonna get out, right?
Whew. Just in time. Smoggy's so good, Doug. This guy's sitting at 20 kills on Omen Bind. All momentum going the way of EDG now. Look at that opener on the Jing.
It was steady.
So
Sama
clean.
dong.
No micro adjustment of the crosshair, nothing like that. Just steady swings right into it.
Perfect.
It's literally perfect. You're absolutely right. And so now a timeout called again. We're tied at 10, and that's all that Paper X have left. If there's another timeout, it will come courtesy of Edward Gaming.
EDG on a really good spot right now to bring this one home in front of the home crowd, win their first map in this arena, in this tournament. PRX, that round, what, 2 rounds ago, that one was, it was just rough. It's rough losing a round like that. You invested the Brim ult. Your timing wasn't quite there on the retake, and if your timing's not there against a team like EDG, they do really well in the post plant, playing off of each other, playing the crossfire game. And then Smoggy going for the reflanks like that. Now we're seeing why EDG decided to switch off the Brim and put this man on the Omen.
Just so much more ability to get active.
Caution here.
And sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire, and Omen's a controller that can do that.
Oh, they're gonna go aggressive into sand, and that's where they are. Jing has a rocket in hand. Something can flash through the wall. This setup is gonna be devastating if they commit to it. Kong tries to get away, and he's managing to dodge the rocket. Paper X put a lot into the back of that punch, and EDG slip it. Now they can reset.
Yeah, it's that push and pull. And that Thrash was picked up again, so they're able to use more utility now to clear out more space if they decide to do so.
Dude, to go from that start in the round to nothing, no sound being made.
You want more? Here's
A
more.
flash to confirm there wasn't a flame coming through. And now Thrash, as you mentioned, getting its second cycle out. Something dinked him there. Nobody down to 12 HP.
Almost got his head taken off.
That's hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, suddenly a freeze to the round now.
Again. And that's twice.
They're so worried about flank, as they should be. That's a fake TP.
Do they bite?
No, they're not. There's a rotation coming in from Mind Freak, but the utility
Ooh,
is
Reina.
You're right, he's already had to be. Something popping
30
the ult,
seconds left.
trying to get across. EDG are slowing things down. This has been a problem for them before. If they can settle, though, they should be okay. Forsaken is still going to be on the rotate, but The kills all coming through for Paper Rex. And now the controller utility has arrived. Divide perch over the top. Smoggy has to frag his way out of this, but he's surrounded. Paper Rex get to 11.
A good hunker down from Paper Rex, just holding hookah. Something he got picked off early there, but the trade's going Paper Rex's favor. This is that beginning. Such a good job from Kong not going down to that rocket, being dropped down to 5 HP. But it's that timing of when EDG just seem to not know what to do in the round and they're just stuck in a corner where it just works against them.
So issues reared their ugly head yesterday. And that feels like the first time we saw hints of that, right? First time we saw any inkling of things like that.
Yeah.
So Paper X, a lead late in map 1.
And this is such a cool setup. You have 2 players on different elevations. You have a Brimstone back sight, a Harbor close up. The showstopper, it could kill 1, but it should be traded.
He's got to get out of there. There's the rocket invested.
Wow.
Again, the satchel utility is just so good, man.
And you're not ready for something on top Chuck after Jing is falling off.
Apparently you're not ready for Forsaken either. As he gets 3. A flawless round for Paper Rex.
From start to finish,
Forsaken,
that setup was so beautiful, so clean.
Wow,
So
wow,
close,
wow,
they can
wow.
taste it.
Unbelievable,
For sure.
guys.
And the Reina flash to back him up as well. That was textbook for PRX.
Forsaken gitu loh.
This will be the last time out for Edward Gaming that you were speaking of.
GG Forsaken.
They played a really, really good map so far. It's just these exchanges where PRX come out ahead. They're just so clutch.
Man, what's the plan on the other side of this? You think for EDG here, for this to be as competitive as it was, in the shadows of yesterday, you've got to feel really good about your performance so far. And then you remember, we've played them before. The last time we played them, we beat them. We beat them on this map. And yeah, the compositions are a little different, but a lot of that feeds into confidence going into the map. And for them to have a couple of these 1v1s go their way and to get this close really feels like this map, if it doesn't go their way, that's an opportunity lost. That's something slipped.
It's such a tough spot to be in because you've done so many things right. And sometimes it's just not in your control. Sometimes you play against a team like Paper Rex that just, you know, there's so many heroics from individual players. And then when you lose a round like that to a setup where they're all playing together.
They just satcheled both of them up with one satchel.
Yeah, that's the previous round something was up on front. And the outlaw buy for Forsaken here. There's a lot of players on light armor right now for EDG.
Yeah, this buy is not great. And of course, something goes aggressive. Tries to turn the flash scoop in his face. Cannot find anything else.
Perfect utility from EDG.
And that's a big first step. If they want to take this to OT, that's a massive start. But Forsaken has not been taken off of his perch.
And when EDG freeze into these rounds, so far in this match, they haven't really backed up and gone the other way.
Yeah.
So on the opposite side of the map, Devi got info, and Forsaken now is proactive.
But Kong is too. Aggressively going forward. Mike trying to slam the door on the round. And does his damage. Jing cannot find the target.
No.
Devi's left to rotate back A. With the Phantom in hand. Full health, full armor. How does he get past through this? Smoggy's weak, yeah. Nobody's taking a little bit of damage, yeah. But a 1v3 is a big ask. They've got money, so why not go for it? 2 away from Seeker, so why not go for it? But he doesn't find a single thing other than the bullet between his eyes. EDG are still alive.
Oh my Smoggy. Even on the TP onto sight, I mean, his barrel was in the face of another player. Executes him. And this is that good utility used from EDG. This time when they freeze into the round, that was scrappy for sure. But Smoggy came out on top. But this time when they freeze, it works to their benefit. They wait. And they wait for the utility. They allow nobody to get onto the site because of the Omen smoke.
Last round of regulation. And again, a heavy stack from Paper X, A short. Both duelists and a controller left to hold the line. I mean, they're all here and they're all playing on this tiny little sliver on the other side of the wall. Forsaken so far up here. Meanwhile, pushing all the way up into showers. The orbital strike will send them apart. Smoggy will fall. And Forsaken, the space he had taken was so good. A 5v2 now.
Enemy remaining.
It's disaster. They crumble. At the foot of Paper X, they cannot stand. Map 1 goes away. Pacific's #1 seed.
What a map from both teams. I mean, hats off.
Sunset on the other side of this break. We'll see you guys there.
I made it to my happy place, got the sun in my eyes and a smile on my face. Yeah. I made it to my happy place, it ain't rained in a while, woke up early today. I feel good, happy faces, I'm so happy that I made it to my happy place.
Let's go, Rex. Yo.
guys. I'm standing here right now with Alex from PRX. Alex, I feel like that score was a little too close for comfort for a lot of PRX fans. So what do you think the team was really struggling with against EDG?
I mean, they're a very good team, first of all, and home crowd, so we came in here prepared to struggle, so to speak. I think they threw us off a little bit. We expected a cypher, so we prepared for that. And then having to play with Omen, and we had to get used to the fact that they could really take control of wherever they want with Omen flashes. And that's something that we don't see much in Asia, so it was difficult.
Well, of course, they won't go down without a fight, but neither will you.
Well, you heard it from Coach Alex. They were thrown for a loop. I'm now joined by Mimi and Kukuga once again. They weren't 100% prepared, but this is Paper X, right? They still find a way.
Yeah, I felt like this was Paper X back in the Paper X form. They make a slight change to their comp, but still the core of it is the same. The way that they can path on their attack side with this composition, especially with that Harbor in the mix, is really incredible. That propelled them to a massive lead, and they managed to close out in the end too.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't an easy task, right? Because we saw some brilliant moments from the side of EDG. In fact, in that game, even though they lost, they had 18 first bloods. So just imagine, it's always the chance of the comeback for PRX and actually being there for the trade.
But that's where we saw the Paper X individuals stepping up in these late rounds. Players like something like Jing were saving round after round for Paper X.
And speaking of those individuals, I felt like we could have had so many things for the HyperX Reflex moment of the day, but this one goes to the warbang of something.
I mean, it's just so impressive because I bet with one bullet, he gets 2 kills in that one angle that everybody spams, but most likely will not get anything, and something, of course, gets something.
The third kill, that's horrible, but the third kill was also ridiculous. Another blatant spam coming out from this guy. I mean, something is just such a talented player. And, any other team picking Reyna, I'd be against it. But the way that he plays this agent is just really good. It gives him the agency to go for really confident plays. And I think they still set up a lot of nice combos between the Sky and the Reyna flashes, kind of making up for the lack of the Gecko.
And not only that, especially when we see them from the defense being aggressive, the way that he was dismissing and being so disruptive onto EDG gave them a lot of edge.
We have to shout out Smoggy though, because I felt like if Smoggy didn't have the performance he had, maybe this map wouldn't have been as close.
Yeah, exactly. We see him topping there in EDG, but even Alex said they were not prepared for this. The way that they were executing, the way that the flashes and the paranoias were coming in, the way that he was strongholding on B, repositioning time after time, the impact that he was having is one of the key reasons why one, we even got to a 6-6 half, and 2, we saw, this result in the end.
That was the most impressive part to me about this game for Smoggy, the way he was playing on B. I think he did a great job of picking his timings on when to find that initial fight and then send in the paranoia, teleport into the second angle, and kind of have so many different looks. It's really disruptive. It's kind of similar to like last year when teams saw Sova on Fracture for the first time. When you see an agent you're not really used to and you see like weird utility on a different map, there's always that adjustment period there. So I thought this was actually a really good comp change from EDG, but it's a shame they couldn't close out in the end.
This is the thing, how good of a change is this? But before we talk about that, let's hear what Coach After had to say ahead of map 2.
I'm here right now with After of EDG. After, I'm curious, especially with such a high-pressure situation like this, a high-pressure match, what do you tell your team in order to hype them up?
在如此高压的淘汰赛情况之下，你是跟选手们会说些什么来给他们鼓劲儿打气的呢？
我觉得 FPS 游戏其实就是要纯粹嘛，然后我觉得就是感受台上的激情，然后玩得开心，我觉得这是最重要的。对。
FPX game, pure game. You just need to enjoy the whole things, enjoy the stage. That is all.
Well, we hope that the players will be enjoying this one. So, jayo, EDG.
I mean, it was enjoyable for us to watch that map. It was really fun. But the thing is it enough for Sunset? Because it feels like when we get to Sunset, the score disparity might get a bit larger.
I'm pretty worried about EDG going into this Sunset. They looked so rough in that last showing, and I think this has clearly been Paper X's strongest map throughout their run in Pacific.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Maybe they have something prepared to see in the Sage. Maybe they really know how to work around it. But based on the preparation and how they were looking against Heretics, it's very difficult to go for EDG. Again, very, very passive at the beginning of the round, not having having the cleanest of the starts there on the attack, maybe waiting for something that wasn't happening time after time.
EDG will be starting on this attacking side again, and I think their biggest issue on the attack last time they played Sunset was losing constant control of A main. Their opponent in that game was super proactive, always taking that space, and then in these late rounds finding the right rotates on the defensive side. I think Paperex is honestly going to play in a pretty similar way. They'll send a lot of early stuff with like a Sage slow and a nade coming in. Sometimes they'll send the wall over there, and then they'll set up for these really strong late round retakes if they still have that Sage wall, especially blocking off, sticking that diffuse. They're a super disruptive team on this map.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that we need to see a little bit of the EDG that we just saw in Bind in comparison to what we saw against Heretics and Sunset. I want to see them more proactive, more decisive, and sometimes you just got to send it. And especially when the other team is not playing with a Cypher on this map, getting to that post plant should be their #1 priority. We were memeing before about them not being able to get the spike down. That has to be the #1 priority for them right now.
I mean, that's my question. You guys already figured out how to beat Paperex. Do you think EDG have ticked any of those things off the box?
I have more faith after seeing the switch up in map #1. I think they had really good game planning, and I like the comp change. I'm hoping they've had the same sit down to talk about how they're going to vary their Sunset today.
Well, it's going to be another change,
Yeah. They went into the Astra against Heretics. Maybe they were not completely sure about that. I think the Chicho is an amazing Viper. So maybe putting him here will allow them to regain that space, to use in that toxin screen to at least create a bit more pressure.
And last time they played, I think the pressure got to them in front of the Chinese crowd, the last hope of China. Now here in this match, they look themselves. They're playing confident. They're playing good. They almost took map #1. But this is going to be rough now. They have to bring everything out to try and have a chance at recovery here. If not,
guys, bentar dulu ya. Sorry.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle no matter what happens from here. Even if they can secure Sunset, they've got split as well as a map 3. And Paperex, they are a very, very resilient opponent. Let's find out if this one can make it to a map 3 and send it back to your casters. Here's Dog and Baby Bay.
Thank you so much, Insu. Jing, the last 2 times he has played on the international stage, has been met with defeat. It was at Champs, and then it was at Madrid. Now, he's potentially 1 map away from getting that monkey off of his back in the face of a crowd that's obviously cheering for EDG, in the face of the history of their matchups, in the face of the last way this series went when these 2 squads clashed. And yeah, he wasn't there, but this could be something special. The Desk talked a lot, Dre, about how EDG looked rough the last time they played Attack on Sunset, and this map really kind of lends itself to a little bit of the chaos that Paperex like to play with.
And the composition that they like to play with as well. It's so explosive. Yeah, they're on the defense, but when those retakes come through, it's going to be in full effect
there
for PRX. And EDG, they opted to switch to the Viper, which I actually like a lot for them, because they're able to do these walk-ups that I was speaking of in the last match that they couldn't do. But PRX, they're so proactive. They do get contact here.
Back right on up. Cool. Dizzy popping off.
There we go. That slow and then explosive approach. They're going to go for even more here. Kong.
Remember, the post plant is where they find success, but this time they try to get a little aggressive ahead of it. The kills are traded, though. Something giving Paperex the advantage. They got to what they needed, but it was with a little bit of aggression and a couple of bodies lost along the way. EDG have thrived in post plants, but they're down in numbers.
They have the info, though. They push spawn.
Smoggy.
Flash connected, Doug.
Smoggy getting tagged. The Thrash going forward. They thought he was going to funnel out on the other side. He's gotten it down to 1. The wall goes up. There's really nothing waiting on the other side, though. Something falls. Can Mindfreak win this out on his own? Settling shots on the first. Crosshair swinging onto the second. Out on Patient on the swing. He tries to switch to Ghost, and the timing could not have been worse. EDG get the pistol.
A big pistol win for EDG to set the pace on this attacking side of Sunset. It was that Viper wall that allowed them to creep up into elbow and then explode onto the site with the Gecko Flash. But the key difference here was the disruption of the actual retake. Pushing spawn here, even after they were down numbers, and just playing off of each other. Smoggy again, he hasn't missed a beat all series long. He did so much that round with the Classic. Right-clicking in and out, staying alive. I mean, he barely took any damage at all.
A fast-paced hit here
And a fast entry from Kong Kong.
Oh, they're turning the other way. It looked like they were going to go elbow, give him the wall, give him the utility, but they strike the other way.
Down A.
Good trades from EDG to settle the round here. Devi, he's just stuck on the other end of this trip. Haodong will get the info now that that's broken. Look, all three players of EDG are gearing up, ready to swing off of Haodong's contact. They don't even need to.
Not when Haodong's shooting that well.
And he was pretty quiet last map, so it's good to see him heating up a little bit, getting a little bit more comfortable on this stage in this series. The IGL. What a fast, explosive entry from EDG, and the change of pace already. They're in the driver's seat finally on their attacking side. They're not playing this super slow game where they just get delayed with 10 seconds left in the round and they're forced to try to plant the bomb.
Paper X with 5 rifles, light armor on Devi and Forsaken. And of course, as I call his name, delivers a kill.
Jeez. Peeked into a firing squad right there. Okay.
EDG really tried fighting mid here. I mean, the X's on the minimap tell the tale.
And to be fair for EDG in that round, or in this round, it's not over yet, but they had a chance to get some kills in those exchanges.
Sure.
The shots just didn't go their way this time. You know, they ran into a firing squad. But when you drive peek into top mid like that, it's kind of what you're set up for. You kind of want that.
Right, you want the fight. And you expect the shots to go your way. Something was one of the weaker remaining members. To be fair, there are a lot of them.
Spike down mid.
PRX will clean up that round, Jing, with 3 to his name. It was a mid fight from start to finish. Everybody dying from EDG in mid. And now they'll have a full buy. So a little bit of damage done for EDG. Showing PRX that, you know, we like to contact mid. We like to contact A into elbow. We'll also explode onto A. A lot of different looks that PRX have to be wary about now, going into the future rounds.
This is a different look too.
Yeah, a new Viper wall. Exactly.
Oftentimes when that Viper wall goes A, there's a fault line, there's satchels, there's a dizzy. Oh, but I love this. This time they don't make any noise, but Paper X gladly take that fight and come out on top.
Kong Kong almost had that opener too. He caught something on the tap of his own eye there. Just didn't go his way. Good shots from something, but he gets traded out by Haodong top mid, and now that's a Cypher ult. Full info the way of EDG. They can really maneuver around the map, and that's why you see players taking all that A space.
I love the way that Paper X just handled that. It made them look like they were going to go mid. As soon as the second tick goes through, they rotate back A, and Forsaken is ahead of the punch.
That's why. Exactly what you just said. That's the opener for Forsaken, and now they have man advantage in the retake.
Ult committed. Jing looking to find a target. He's found plenty of space. But Haodong's left alone. He's gotten one, but that's all it'll be. Again, that little half a second hezzy mid off of that Cypher ult got them that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, Forsaken was able to just sneak right in there, get that initial kill, get out. Now you have mad advantage. Oh, so close.
Yeah,
Kong Kong was
right.
so close on that kill.
The value of that smoke.
For these future rounds, you imagine EDG are going to try to bait out that fault line and then re-walk into space?
That's what we would like to see
Yeah.
from them, yeah.
Nevertheless, that was a really clean retake from PRX after being man up.
Devi with an op in hands this round. Light armor. Currently focused on mid, while EDG have I set B.
Good cam break off the rip of the round from Mindfree.
And something has taken so much space here. Creeping around mid, they're gonna have to deal with that trip. Devi gets up top and he still gets tagged. Has to get back down by the skin of his teeth. I thought he was gonna survive, but he spammed through. Mindfreak now filling in on the space. Will get his one and gets away. Forsaken on the swing. Also getting a couple, but Chichu's left alone a 1v1 and something has been cooking his flank the entire round.
It's just a PRX round. It's so chaotic. And it's so hard to be watching every single angle at once. They attack you from all sides. I mean, you just killed somebody on top of that connector box. And then all of a sudden, Mind Freak's up there as well. You have to be worried about so much when you're playing against PRX.
And then you've got to deal with the flank.
Yeah, they just took so many timings here.
Last player standing.
It's so hard to play against. Even if you're dialed in on these smokes, the players and the mechanical skill and prowess of PRX, they're so strong, they're able to just snap to your head instantly as they come out.
They play with a pace that often overwhelms, that often leaves opponents stunned and stifled. But EDG are showing they can accelerate the pace a little bit as well.
Fault line did connect on a Kong, which will slow the round down a little bit here. And buy time for PRX to get info B main. There was no Cypher Cam in B main this round, so it's kind of a read for PRX that this is a lean towards A, but they're willing to give the site. They have really good ultimates for this retake.
Yeah,
Reach ult,
yeah,
Thrash. And an early Thrash to clear out Haodong here.
And they've got him surrounded once more.
Really good utility.
I don't think that, Paranoid connected, but it doesn't matter.
What was that?
Weaponry on the other side is just not enough as Jing continues to push the pace. Just when they know they've got EDG in a corner, they suffocate them.
It's so smothering to play against. He's just running at your face.
Enemy remaining.
I mean, even that discipline right there for Mind Freak, yeah, they know where the last player was tagged by the Thrash, but still checks his 50 as he walks into elbow.
And something with the Thrash, even in the beginning on the flank, to make sure nobody gets picked off early by Haodong, he knows that he can just bring it back around and pick it up and use it again if no one's there. It's so heads up. Beautiful Valorant being played right now from PRX. And much like the last map, EDG do a timeout around the 4-2 mark. There it is.
First one burned. EDG down 2. And there was concern about how EDG played their attack halves and how slow it was and how it really felt like they just kind of were of a one-track mind, right? We've seen a lot of differences out of EDG this time around, though. They've been a lot more decisive, they've been a lot more aggressive, and they've shown variety in how they like to approach things. But, Dre, it seems like Paper X, they still are just so far ahead of what EDG are trying to do.
If they don't see a camera in B main after seeing the previous round with a walk-up, they kind of have an idea of what's going on around the map. Like, they know no one's in B main. That gives the confidence to the team to go for a mid-fight. And then once the mid-fight's not there from the opposing side of EDG, they know it's A. So if you're EDG, you kind of need to run like a 4-1 setup. Maybe have Haodong on a lurk and just control the opposite sides of the map to know if PRX are getting that info in B main, in mid. You don't even have to take the aim duels. I'm not telling Haodong to go crazy and take ones against the firepower of PRX, but you need to know what the defending side is doing to be ahead of what you're doing. And the way to do that is by playing a 4-1 default. Kind of looks like we're going to see that right here.
Oh, I thought he was going to perch up on that wall, try to catch an angle.
Here's that operator again. I mean he could very well still do so with that.
Kong has his too. An attack side up. Currently posted up mid. As nobody has gone exploring around elbow. Mind Freak is the only one close by. Nice shots, but the op trading on the other side.
Great trade.
That'll win that every time.
He saw his elbow and Jing on the reswing wasn't ready for Kong's operator.
Ulting off of that! And it never goes off!
Welcome to my world.
And now there's the pit they're gonna have to deal with. But honestly, if Forsaken plays around this, gets a kill onto Haodong, there may be a shot at it, but it's Haodong who comes out on top. Cypher ult used. Something in Devi will try to get this back. They've got the money and they have the weaponry to do it. But they're down in numbers. They don't have that advantage.
You did good. You kind of just have to pray that you're going to spam the Viper through the smoke at this point if you're PRX. But he steps out of it. Chichu.
Ahead of it. Nicely played.
Confidence like that. You want to keep popping shots in my smoke? I'll bring the fight to you, buddy. That's the operator. Out of play as well.
Chichu will fall.
Yeah, and something should just save this off in this round. EDG are so good when they get the bomb down. The desk was talking about it. I've been talking about it. And a nice round from EDG. Kong, I think he jumped the gun a little bit too early there with the showstopper. But that did give his team the information of where players were playing. They realized that Forsaken was playing all the way in spawn, off the site. They were able to lurk up with Chichu's Viper's Pit. And this little sidestep right here, that was so clean from nobody.
The trade was really nice too.
Yeah, and in the last series, I kind of foreshadowed that EDG liked to play an attack side operator on Kong, and sometimes he'll just go up and take space by himself. They never had the economy to be able to do that in the last series, but now that they're actually putting up a fight, they're able to have these different type of looks.
No attack side off this time around. Something has his, and man, nobody never had a shot.
That was so fast. And that's the initiator down for EDG. So you kind of have to contact into anywhere now, and there's a setup from PRX.
As soon as Forsaken gets contact, Jing can swing, or he just gets the kills by himself and Device with him as well.
It's beautiful.
I mean, you set it up super well. That was very aggressive. That was very Paper X. Jing's decision there, but Paper X got the round, and you're right. As soon as the initiator goes down, they have to contact.
There's no other option.
And it just so happened that they were leaning into the 3 that Paper X had there. That crossfire setup was gorgeous.
It was, yeah, it was swing, swing, swing off of each other. Everyone got a kill. Everyone participated. Here's that initial kill. That was a quick shot.
Yeah, if something gets that line at the beginning of the round uncontested, he's gonna punish you with it.
Even Forsaken just crouched in that little A corner. If he's standing, he probably gets his head taken off. Just that fact of just him crouching in that scenario. He's so aware that EDG have to walk in and you have to break the crosshair somehow.
Toxin screen down.
Aggressive A default from Forsaken. You usually see Omens playing this spot. This time it's going to be a Breach just jump spotting. He'll maybe use a flash to back up if he has to.
I think he got what he was looking for, though. He got that orb. And the Breach ult is so powerful, but it takes, like, what, 20 ult points to get that thing going?
Yeah, I mean, but when you're popping off, like Forsaken can pop off, it makes it seem like you might have one every other round.
Yeah.
Which is so impressive.
Feels like Thrash.
Oh, another entry from something. The second to follow up.
Oh, this is the only real gun they had here. Smoggy strikes. Devi's the only one who's playing back here. Has the res, but no real way to get back to anybody to bring him up unless it's through here. And again, Smoggy's on the other side. Oh, but Devi's gonna go down low. There's no way Smoggy sees this.
Now the res, Doug.
No charges left.
Yeah, it seems like he is
30 seconds
gonna invest it, or at least considering it.
He walls himself off to secure it as well.
Howdong's timing could be everything. The op shot lands. Chichu's 10 HP are the only things standing between Paper X and another round. Perfect.
Man, even just walling off the site there. All something has to do after he gets res is just focus on the flank. The other 2 players grouped up with the rifles. And yeah, Chichu took the head off of one of the players, but the trade was just there instantly. That's that entry from something. The second follow-up. It got scrappy though. Maybe a little over-eager for PRX. EDG could have converted this if this timing didn't happen. Smoggy, if he's a second sooner to looking at that angle, maybe he gets an insta headshot onto Devi.
Yeah, maybe a little over-eager, but they live and die by this sword, man. And so when it works great, and it's worked great up against EDG up until this point. Yeah, the first map was close, but
very aggressive. Change of pace on the defensive side. It was the op that got most of the entries this time around. Space gathered in mid and a delay to this B hit. Nobody outside of the smoke from EDG.
Meanwhile, everyone from Paper X has already rotated back over. That delay is so good. Something's the only one who's not joined behind. He has an op holding the middle of the map. EDG wise to it have to go through spawn.
The problem here, Doug, is that nobody stayed in B main to see that this Sage wall is up. That allows PRX to like actually maybe get ahead of this fight and pick somebody off on their actual entry.
Second round of the Thrash will clear the way elbow. Kong using the last bit of mobility that he had to get aggressive ahead of it. Little green goo at his feet. Kong Kong will fall.
What a fault line.
Smuggy's in a really nice spot, though. Oh my goodness, what a shot. Forsaken takes his head clean off. Chichu and Haodong have to win this one on their own. Haodong was so weak, and now he's dead. Paper X up big.
30 seconds
Not
left.
just in this round, but they're about to hit 7 on the map.
Forsaken might get another Breach ultimate after this kill. Or even if he falls. There it is.
Personal Viper. Just business.
Device Sage while being up at B main allows everybody to cheat over towards that A site and disrupt the actual take of EDG. The fast flood. That was a raise nade followed up, the stun. Wow. Even Smoggy there, he actually got hit by the stun before he took the TP, so he was irrelevant. He couldn't do anything. It's a beautiful play right now from PRX. Their play style is just so hard to play against. Such a weird composition too.
Again, this aggression is Jinx satchels forward, and this time there's everybody on the other side. EDG, we're all here.
No
and
way.
That level of aggression just sends a shudder down their spine. Even if Jing leaves, which he does, they've got to be afraid of what's afoot, what's at their doorstep. They've invested the Rolling Thunder as well. They're all trapped here. Can EDG stand strong? Forsaken again, patiently playing his time. He's gonna have to do it on his own, and he can't. In the face of that aggression, a thrifty round win for EDG.
It was an aggressive maneuver through the middle of the map from Jing, back-to-back rounds. This time, EDG punishes PRX for their over-aggression. And they needed to do that because, I mean, if they don't win these battles, these gunfights, they're just gonna get smothered once more and just run into the blender that is PRX. The thing is EDG are playing into PRX's hand from start of the round to the end of the round. The initial reactions of EDG off of that mid fight is to speed up A, but that's kind of what PRX wanted. They want to trap you, they want to enclose you. So yeah, they won that round, but I just feel like PRX is making them make these reactionary plays, and when you EDG play reactionary, it just doesn't bode well for them.
It's just such a difficult ask to try to set the pace against Paper X, man. They force you on their back foot.
I mean, even here though, with this top mid smoke, nobody walking out to actually clear mid.
Yeah, so something fills in behind it. The smoke is pointless.
They're just a layer behind right now.
No ults on the side of Paper X.
I mean, again, they're smothered once more. But if EDG can get the bomb down, we've seen them thrive in these scenarios.
Wait, what's the cue? They're gonna get that dizzy up. Oh, he gets caught by the trip.
The satchels were missed.
That was such a cool idea, but now they understand where the pressure's coming from, and EDG have to turn eyes back. Every single flash used. Haodong only gets one. Smoggy on the swing. Can't stand up either. Nobody's up, not connecting. But that's okay.
They're walled off.
Devi's gonna get the defuse, at least to have to spam to break the panel.
They have to push.
They've got a body bag in front of them. They hold the defuse the whole way. Devi's wall closes out the half.
Switching sides.
That wall got so much value. And now PRX get to set their own tempo on the attacking side.
Hey, take a look at this one more time. I mean, if not for the trip, that round is probably not that close,
yeah.
But nicely handled by EDG to settle. This last layer, though, this last part of the equation is what's just too far, too unconsidered by EDG. And so they're glad to sit behind their wall. They're glad to get to 8 rounds. Everything has gone their way. We've got an Omen player moments with Jing standing by as we get to pick his brain a little bit here.
I mean, I think we started off really strong, but we kind of, I guess we kind of like lost the fuel. I don't think we ever lost our first match like this, so I mean it's something new for us. But I guess every time when we lost the grand finals, we lost a team from lower bracket, so I guess this might be it. I mean, I don't think I'll say I'm shocked because all of us have not played like a international in pretty long, even though they played in Madrid. But this is all our first game in Shanghai, and G2 has played 2 games, I think 2 or 3 games, and yeah, so I guess they are more warm, I guess. I wasn't really that surprised, but just sad, I guess.
Middle now in hand for him. Clear out of the haunt. Boombot to try to get himself pushed up here into heaven. Something final one. Oh, Jenna being one apiece, but now something. It's up the second kill. A 2v2 here. It's Forsaken. Clearing out that Prowler, but cannot steady the aim. Dash around the back. Something with the updraft. 7 bullets remaining here in the Vandal. Now down to 5 as he clears out the Prowler. Playing a ring around the Rosie here. Sees the gun barrel of 1. Swing out. Finds it. Swap over the classic and something. Gets the 4K Red Bull clutch.
I just hope that even if we win or lose, we give you guys a really great show. And if we do lose, I hope that we improve in the future, show you guys even better like PaperX gameplay. Thank you to all the fans for supporting us. We have so many fans in China and we're really happy to see that.
For the way of PaperX, a desire, a need, facing elimination to walk away with a win on international soil on the global stage. Meanwhile, for EDG, I mean, you can hear it. The crowd is doing everything they can to light a spark to get them back into the series. They did their damnedest yesterday, and EDG looked a little flat, but this EDG looks way more formidable, Dre.
And they need to start off strong once more. They have to win this pistol if they want to have any comeback into this map.
That nade is really nice, but the fault line and the swing from PaperX will leave Kong Kong worse for wear.
Survives with his life.
Just barely, though.
Full rotation from EDG, all 5 members.
I mean, surely they know that everyone's here. The paranoia is out. The dizzy over the top is really nice, and then swing. But the slow, nobody can't get out. He's forced to fight, and PaperX mow him over.
The counter utility from PRX, it was too clean, but they're still running into the mass amounts of EDG players. Howdong is stuck here.
Again, another slower with nowhere to go. Maybe Chichu can catch a little something along the way. I don't know if the comms didn't come through there, understanding that's where the bullets were coming from, but they're trying to find safety. And they're gonna try to swing all the way into PaperX. 2 of them fall.
2 is criminal there for Mind Freak.
Kong Kong has taken stages by storm throughout his entire career. A desperate need to strike once more. Can Kong Kong deliver? In front of a home crowd. It's just the pistol, but he's got to hit these shots.
He saw Divide.
He's got to convert here. Finds one, but something just comes soaring around the corners. PaperX get to 9.
PaperX, they went util for util there and came out on top. That Omen flash from Mind Freak, it was everything. It made it so nobody couldn't see a single thing when he peeked. The initial fight for EDG was so good, but the counter utility was just too strong for PRX.
And I mentioned it throughout that round, but both of the opening kills there on Nobody and Howdong, they had nowhere to go. As soon as they were spotted, a slower bet their feet, they were stuck.
And Howdong did a great job actually getting one, even being stuck in that position. But this death ball from PRX, I just feel like it's gonna be too much to handle for Kong Kong. That was a molly miss though. So maybe PRX overlook that positioning. Oh, he's gonna run into a blender of just guns and utility. And that Sage wall makes it just impossible to retake from A lane. Funnels everybody CT or flank.
See that wall go up, something gets dropped.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Sheriff's finding some damage.
Okay.
They've gotten it down to another one. Smoggy's 22 HP. Takes a step back with the fault line in his face. And now Forsaken and Devi, I mean, really just have to stare at this angle right here. Nicely handled by Smoggy to ISO that first side, but it's just too much. PaperX will get to 10. Now striking distance away from a series win.
And honestly, just wanting to get revenge for Monier, who EDG beat the last time around in Madrid. These were some really nice shots from EDG. It's not even like EDG are folding under, you know, the pressure that they had yesterday. They're actually online. People are hitting shots from everybody. They've had good team play in general, but PRX, they just look so prepared. And this is their map pick. They're going to be confident on it. This time a more spread approach on the attacking side is PRX. They farm the orb onto Jing. That's now Jing and Forsaken and something coming up on those ultimates by the end of this round. they might be able to put something together. The IGL, Haodong, sitting Jing down. That could be the spark for EDG. But look at the opposite side of the map. This is a free A site.
But they don't have mid. And that's where EDG are filling.
And PRX don't have bomb either.
They've put the wall up. I guess they think they're safe across the middle of the map. Devi has to be careful here.
Oh,
as he's gonna try to cross. Hong Kong has gotten ahead of it. He's gonna get the kill, and that's a spike.
Spike down B.
But they don't know. They don't know that all the players were towards the A side of the map, so he kind of has to give bomb here.
Right there.
Haodong does aggress B main. That will give EDG the info that everybody was towards that A side of the map.
He's got the line. They're gonna have to swing into it. That fault line is just so good, but something will fall. Haodong now forced to swing back into the fight as the spike hits the ground once more. Mindfreak left in a 1v4. EDG played this so well. Proactively taking space everywhere across the map. Nicely done as EDG gets to 5.
Great job from EDG. That opener from Haodong, the re-aggression into B main after the bomb is dropped. Really good stuff. But a bit of fortune that the bomb was not towards the A players. Had the bomb been towards the A site in the big pack of players, that's a bomb down for certain. A good answer back from EDG as we head into the 16th round. A bit of a scrappy buy for PRX. But they thrive in moments like this, and if they explode onto this B site, there's no trips here yet.
And in the face of a full buy from EDG, this close to closing it out.
Showstopper.
This could be a mess. Spike drop. What EDG desperately need to avoid is now knocking on their doorstep. They still have guns though, and they're healthy. But the Thrash invested. You imagine Jing will follow. Rocket online, no satchels to get any sort of space.
And no kill either.
Meanwhile, Kong Kong on the swing. He's now 1 point away from having his ult online. Jing up close with the stinger, avoiding the utility, still getting a shot on nobody. He connects onto the second. Kong Kong again. Left to deliver for EDG. And with targets on either side, that very well may be the dagger.
The thrifty from PRX. It was a scrappy buy, but like I said, they thrive in moments like this. This entry from Jing, that Omen flash, even the Breach C to follow up, and this little intuition peek from Jing. That was so cold, Doug. He was tucked there the entire time, but he knew the window of opportunity that he could have had, and he took full advantage of it. EDG, this was either timeout. The last time out. They have to bring it back. This is elimination. Home soil, home crowd advantage. Paper X came ready to play today. They had something to say about their last performance, that's for sure.
They've got to close this thing out. And you can tell they've got EDG on a lifeline.
How that first map, I mean, it was packed with suspense. It was an emotional roller coaster for both teams. But the mental and the confidence going into your map pick, that's a different type of energy. Forsaken has that Breach ult online. Mindfreak has the Omen ult. Kong Kong. He's sitting at a shorty and a raised rocket. I think he might use it off the rip here.
No reason to leave any stone unturned, but the paranoia hits him.
He got hit by his teammate's Omen flash. I think Mindfreak also blew his as well. Maybe it was Mindfreak's.
But he's gotten so far up already, Mindfreak has. Making sure there's no flank coming around. You see the slow orbs coming through. The wall will go up. A little bit of cheeky gap here. on the other side. Understanding where that's where the pressure could be coming from. Howdong has fallen. The spike is down. Oh, how can EDG try to take this thing back? They've got a rifle in the hands of Smoggy and in Nobody.
It's a good start.
He strikes first.
Right there.
The wall's still in play. Now they can sit back with Forsaken's ult. If they really want to get messy with it, Mindfreak can flip it. TP deep behind enemy lines. Instill chaos into the round. Or they just close it out with the fault line. A really nice shot out from Smoggy.
Wah! Dua noning. Let's go.
Again, Kong left alone. Can he deliver this time? No. 0 for 3 as Paper X get to series point.
That was the closest chance he's had in the 1v2.
Match point eh. Ayo.
Every other time, it was just PRX playing with their food, peeking in and out. The shots couldn't quite hit the mark for Kong in that last shot. That last opportunity in the 1v2. And this Sage Wall from PRX, it makes it so you just have to spam the default box as that Gecko is planting the bomb. If anybody wants to push up, I mean, it's only one lane they have to worry about, really. A very aggressive approach to this round. Cypher Trip not broken, though. So EDG, they shouldn't have to over-rotate towards this B site. And that's why you see Kong getting a little aggressive on this A line. If PRX decide to walk back in, he might be able to get one and get out with his life. I'm curious to see if PRX invest any utility here. They won't. What a flick.
He pays for it with his life. Finally, a numbers advantage for EDG.
With bombs so far away as well. Fault line will inevitably have Kong have to back up, but he's re-aggressing.
Of course he is. Now taking a step back, the rest to bring Mindfreak into the fold once more. Now the Rolling Thunder.
Oh, connected as well. He's not going to be able to disrupt anything here.
Shoving him away, but take a look at Nobody. He's gotten really far up. Do they clear him? Do they know he's there? The crossfire's so nice. Oh. Forsaken falls. Nobody on the swing connects. 3 left on the side of Paper X. Make that 2. EDG seem to be holding the line here, and they're throwing everything into this. With 13 seconds left, Paper X have nowhere to go.
It's just a save.
10 seconds left.
Well played around from EDG. All off the back of Kong. And Howdong Cypher utility, it stayed alive at B for so long that they were able to get ahead of that. Getting really aggressive, taking the smokes out early. This was that flick. So precise. The res did come through, but again, when you have an operator player like this who's so confident, and he's honestly one of the most skilled operators in this game, without a doubt. If he hits the shot on you, if you don't insta-headshot him, you're going down.
Yeah, you're losing that fight.
So that's why he's so confident going for these re-aggro fights consistently. He knows he's gonna kill you if you whiff.
EDG still with a long way to go.
Okay.
So much ground to make up.
Guys.
They have a couple of tools here. Kong still has the op. Meanwhile, it's a weird buy for Paper X. Forsaken couldn't even really purchase much into this. He's got utility, sure, but no gun.
And I wonder if this time around they're leaving the trip here on purpose to set up Jing for alert kill after they aggress in mid or retake the A line.
Yeah, late split or something like that.
Yeah, that's so impressive. I'm pretty sure they were aware that they didn't break it the last round, and now they're reading into it.
Right there.
That smoke suggests that they're going to try to get through the middle of the map and try to split B through spawn, but he's ahead of it.
Look at this. This is all prep. They know that Smoggy likes to play on top of here. Whoa, he almost got caught out being in his smoke form.
Pushed off the wall, and now they decide to go. The wingman first, the wall up, Jing playing on the other side. Howdong falls, so does Smoggy. 3 left to try to stay up, to try to keep German hopes alive.
Nice, something.
And that's another that will fall.
Yes.
Another that will crumble. Nobody was nowhere to go.
Come on.
Paper X seemed to have done it.
Ayo.
In the face of 5. Yes. Nobody will fall. Grand finals in LA. lower finals in Madrid in front of a Chinese crowd. The Heartbreak Kids will not be denied.
Let's go, Paper Rex.
Not yet.
Paper Rex excelled in every aspect in this match. They fought against adversity on Vine. They closed it out on their map convincingly on Sunset. And EDG, although they had a way better showing this time around, this should be a wake-up call.
A 2-0 sweep, and Paper X look good. They look really good. In pursuit of what has eluded them for so long. This is a team that many people expected to have already lifted hardware once, and they got close. They got so close. They've done it so many times. And just when it seemed like they were going to have to bow out and take an early exit, they silence EDG and do so in impressive fashion.
That last map was a spectacle, that's for sure. And here are going to be the highlights. Smoggy, he did such a good round.
Kita lihat highlights.
Still allow Hadong to secure it, but it just seemed like
nice job, Paper Rex.
PRX just had full control of this map. They manipulated EDG to play into their hands, into their setups. And the operator on the defensive side, Gecko, for something that, I mean, look, he has 6 first bloods. That was a big part of that.
Paper X did such a good job of hitting their utility at the right spots. They were decisive on their strikes. Again, they don't really care about what the other team is doing, right? They know this is the pace they want to play at. This is the approach they want to take. It's going to be taking space mid. It's going to be satcheling through. It's so decisive, and it looks so good every single time. And honestly, EDG, yeah, they were competitive map 1, but they just got rolled on Sunset, man.
And when you're playing against a team that, I mean, they're willing to die on their shield.
Yeah.
That's just going into that matchup. You're like, oh man, it's intimidating in itself.
Oh yeah, the gunfights have to go your way. The utility has to be on point. And again, on Bind, we did see some of that, but Sunset just told a different story. We've got the Verizon, not Verizon, post-match interview with Valora and Jing standing by on the stage behind us right now.
Hello， 大家好，欢迎来到赛后采访，我是维嘉。让我们再一次恭喜 Paper Rex 赢下了本场比赛的胜利。我们也是请到了竞选手来接受我们的采访。Welcome to the post-match interview, and now I'm joined by Jing from Paper Rex with us. Congratulations on this win. And would you like to say hi to the audience first?
Hello, everybody.
先跟大家打了个招呼，也是大家很热情的回应了一下。第一个问题也是想要问到竞选手，因为其实 Paper Rex 一直有自己一套非常独特的打法风格，也给我们的联赛带来了很多不一样的色彩。那我们也很好奇，每一次他们在面对这种自己比较激进的打法风格，以及他们一如既往的稳定发挥的时候，他们是如何达到这么好的平衡的呢？ So you have such a unique playstyle that bring to the league. How to find a way to balance your iconic playstyle and stable performance?
I mean, it's just what we are used to, so I guess we just have to practice and keep playing the same way, and we'll just get used to it and we'll be more consistent.
他说，对于他们来说，其实他们也是很习惯于这样的打法风格。对于他们来说，他们只需要不断的练习，不断的坚持，保持自己一如既往的稳定发挥就可以。那接下来也想问一下竞选手，因为其实 Paper Rex 包括竞选手本身在中国都有非常多的粉丝，那有没有什么想要对中国粉丝们说的话呢？You have a large number of fans in China. Do you know that?
Yes.
So would you like to say something to the fans?
Just thank you to all the fans for supporting us. I mean, it's hard for all the China fans to usually like come in contact with us, but now like I see all the fans, we are all really happy. So yeah, very happy for all the fans.
他说非常感谢大家对他们一如既往的支持，平常可能在其他比赛里也很少有机会可以看到这么多的中国粉丝，但是今天见到了，他也觉得非常的开心，也感谢大家对他们的支持。那同时今天也是一个6·1儿童节嘛，然后想让竞选手祝一下大家6·1儿童节快乐，可以吗？大家想听吗？ So today is Children's Day in China. Do you know that?
No.
So would you like to say Happy Children's Day in Chinese maybe to the audience?
Sure,
I can teach you.
Yeah, you can teach me.
儿童节快乐。
儿童节快乐。
Yeah, that's great. you so much.
Thank you.
And that's all for the interview. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
那我们的赛后采访到这里就结束了，先拜拜。
Honestly, that is our humble king. Shout out.
Every Jing interview is the most wholesome
Oke guys, sampai sini live kita, live watch party kita hari ini. Nanti kita lanjut live main The Sims 4 ya guys. Jadi kasih gua waktu sebentar. Gua mau ini dulu. Kan apalagi tuh ya guys ya. Jadi pokoknya kasih gua waktu sebentar. Kita ketemu lagi di main The Sims 4 ya guys. I'll see you again in the next live stream. Bye bye.